Stuart, Dad's condition just got a lot worse. I need you to come over to the hospital as soon as possible.
No can do.
What do you mean? We both know that you didn't go to work today.
Exactly. I can't go because it's my day off from work. Well, thanks to Dad, of course. So I'm going to enjoy my extra day off. Tell him to fight it off till I have to go to work again or something.
What the hell?
Already decided to take my time and rest for today. And there's nothing that's going to change that. As an active and crucial member of our society's workforce, I need as much rest as I can get when I can get it.
You're joking, right? Your own father's condition is taking a toll right now. He needs you. And this might be the last time you'll be able to see him alive.
Yeah, and this might be my last chance to get some proper rest in a week.
Do you really not think that you owe him just this much? To see him and say a proper goodbye before he goes? Do you even know what he's done for you up until now?
It's not like I ever asked him to do anything for me. It's his free will, so I owe nothing.
Did you really just say that? He'll let you go to a private school even though it costs an insane amount each year. And that's because you didn't study at all during high school and couldn't make it into a public school in our state. He even let you try all of those extracurriculars like horse riding and swimming just because you thought they were cool. Not to mention how you quit all of those within half a year because you couldn't take even a bit of failure. Did you really never ask him for anything he gave you? Really? How much money and effort and care do you think he's putting into raising you?
It's literally required by law that a parent or guardian has to put in the money and effort and care in raising a child. That's the cost of making a child. It was his choice to make a child, so he got what he asked for. I don't see what you're so upset about here.
Are you talking about compulsory education? If you didn't know, that's only up until high school. Therefore, he was not obligated at all to send you to college. He did that for you.
Just shut up. Leave me alone.
Even when you got married, your pride kept you from hosting a wedding that you can actually afford. And you begged Dad to pay the amount that you couldn't pay off by yourself. Your pathetic self was literally begging him.
I paid him back by showing his son getting married in the best way possible. How much more does he want?
Have you really not understood how much you've been saved by him up until now? Even after hearing those stories? And it isn't just these episodes. There's hundreds and thousands more that I can't even remember about.
Are you done? As I said a while ago, I'm gonna go get some quality rest, and nothing's gonna stop me from getting it. If you still want to say something, tell Anne. I'm sure she's out somewhere right now. She might be able to head over there instead of me if you asked her to.
Anne?
Yeah? She's my wife, so she's like a sister-in-law to you, right?
So what? It doesn't matter whether Anne comes to visit or not. All that matters is whether you, his actual son, is coming to visit him for one last time or not.
Take good care of Anne. Don't be too mean to her. Oh, and also, what's going on with his inheritance?
Inheritance?
Yeah, contact me when all that's decided.
Dad's not in his best shape, but he's still fighting.
Oh, and also make sure to get the funeral on a weekday. I'll get to skip going to work again. Oh, and also, Dad's inheritance will be divided by 3. 1/3 for me, 1/3 for you, 1/3 for Anne. Got it? So me and Anne get 2/3 of his inheritance.
How did you turn out like this?
I have no idea how to manage a funeral, by the way, so I'm gonna have to leave all of that to you, sis. You're the firstborn, so you're basically obligated to do it anyways. You still live in Dad's house, so you're obviously the one who's most in debt. I don't owe anything of that sort to him, so you better do your best and repay him for everything he's done for you.
How could a person be raised to be so selfish?
You're saying I'm selfish? You barely graduated from high school and kept taking money from Dad until he died.
Taking his money?
Yeah. How do you have the nerve to keep getting raised by your dad at your age? You should have sustained your own life starting from way earlier on.
Did you really just say that to me? Without understanding a thing about your own family. You never even came back to visit us, so you wouldn't know why I had to do what I had to do.
I made calls pretty frequently. It's not like you never heard my voice or anything. How is a grown man with his own family supposed to visit his parents every week, huh?
The only reason you called us was to ask for money from Dad. You called on his birthday last year and Dad was really happy that you did that for once. But you didn't even say the phrase, happy birthday. You just called him to ask him for money. Again. He just laughed it off, but I could see the tears he was holding back.
You expect me to sing happy birthday to him on the phone? How old do you think I am? 4? A grown man wouldn't do that, and it should be common sense. I don't even know the man's birthday.
But you somehow still have the nerve to ask for money on your own birthday every single year, right?
Yeah, because I'm his son. I get to receive things from him. That's what being a parent is.
You know what? Fine, have it your way. I just get stressed talking to you. You don't have to come to the hospital. Not that you would have if I were to ask you to.
Yeah. Good luck with the funeral.
Hey, Anne? Where are you right now? Stuart just tells me that he doesn't know where you are no matter how many times I ask him. The cremation is about to start. I'm sure you wouldn't want to miss it, but we're all about to get on the bus to get there. Hi, please don't mind me. You all can start heading there. But we can't just leave you, honey. It's fine, really. I know where the crematorium is, so I can get there on my own. My stomach hasn't been doing too well since this morning. Really? Are you okay? Yes, I just need a bit of time. I took some medicine just now, so I'm sure I'll get better soon. So, I insist. Please don't mind me and head over to the crematorium without me. I'll be there with you all within half an hour. Okay, honey, but take your time. We'll be there waiting for you. Should I tell Stuart to stay here at the hall to wait for you? No, thank you. I'm sure he'll like to be there from the start till the end, and I'm confident that I'll be fine on my own. I don't think he gives the slightest crap about this whole thing, but... Regardless, I'll be fine on my own, so don't mind me. Please. Alright. Well, text me if you need anything. I'll send Stuart right over, okay? Oh, and I also told the staff members to prepare a taxi for you, so just tell them when you're ready and you'll have a ride. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry for getting a stomachache at such an important time. I'll be sure to keep Stuart updated about the situation, so if you're ever wondering how I'm doing, please ask him. Okay, sweetie. Anne? Are you sure you're alright? Yes, of course. Oh no, is it already about to end? We're about to bury him. I'm so sorry that I couldn't make it. Please don't mind me and focus on saying your last goodbye to your father. I really am doing fine over here. In fact, I'm doing great. Really? Are you feeling better? Actually, I'm feeling ecstatic. What do you mean ecstatic? I just rode a taxi here to your father's house. I'm packing up all of your things right now. What? Packing up my things? At my dad's house? I thought you were in the bathroom. Didn't you have a stomachache? Actually, that was a lie. My stomach doesn't hurt at all. I mean, my stomach hurt earlier from laughing so hard at how easy this was though. What do you mean? And why are you at my house? You don't even have a key, right? Actually, I borrowed a key from Stuart. My brother doesn't have a key either. He said he borrowed the key from your purse. You know, since it was wide open since this morning because you were so busy managing the funeral. Is this a joke? You two took the key from my purse? Actually, we took your keys from your purse. Your key case. You keep so many different keys in there. Do you know how long it took me to find the right one to your door? What are the other ones for anyways? I mean, I'm sure you had to manage a lot of keys after you joined your dad's company straight out of high school. I'm surprised a high school graduate was able to manage so many different keys. There are very, very important ones in there. Please give them back right now. Don't worry, I won't lose them. And I can't head over there and hand them to you right now. I'm in the middle of a very important process of organizing your things right now. Why are you in my house organizing my things? Well, of course, because this house is going to belong to Stuart and I in a little bit, right? So I need to get to work and pack up everything that's going to get in the way of our new life in this house. And the perfect timing was now, since you're not going to be here for a while. What do you mean the house is going to belong to you two? I heard from Stuart that 2/3 of your father's inheritance is going to belong to us. His money, company, and his house. These are the 3 main things that he's leaving behind, right? So we talked it out and decided that Stuart and I should get the house and the company, and you can have half of this money. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't even know who gets what yet. And the only people with legal rights to his inheritance are his children by blood, meaning me and my brother. You're not included, Anne. Unless he left it in his will that he wanted to include you too, of course. What do you mean? I'm basically his daughter. Yeah, you're her daughter-in-law on paper, but you aren't related to him through blood. Oh, don't be so cold, Patricia. Cold? You've never taken care of my father or even showed any type of care towards him, but now you act like you care in the slightest way because there's money involved? You seem way colder than me through my eyes. Oh my God! How dare you! I've always thought about all of you in the same way as my family. Even if we were to hypothetically divide his inheritance into 3, how does it make sense that you two get the house and the company, and I only get half of his money? That isn't even at all. Just think about it. Your dad's a company owner, and he doesn't even have a proper hobby that would cost him any money. And he doesn't spend money for anything else, right? So that means he has savings that we could only dream of. Therefore, that portion of his inheritance is most likely to be way more in value than the other 2. Please stop using your simple-minded assumptions as proof towards your argument. Just listen. So Stuart becomes the new boss, right? And I become the boss of the house and the home that he left behind. And we use half of the money that we get to reform the house. And voila! Dream mansion. That's our plan. So I'm going to have to throw out everything that is unnecessary for us to accomplish the plan. Don't you dare touch anything that belongs to my father. Huh? Oh, I see. Your high school graduate brain can process all of this. I said, we're going to throw out everything that's unnecessary. Everything your dad has is part of his inheritance, so we're going to sell it all and make money off of it. So why would I throw it away? You need to start learning how to use your brain. When Stuart becomes the boss, I'll tell him about this, and how we don't need a high school graduate working for us. Wait, so you're just going to throw out my stuff? What did I say earlier? Not a single soul on this planet benefits from you staying in this house, you parasite. So, I'll be throwing everything out into the dumpster. Got it? Wait, I have some very important things for work around my desk. Okay, then I'll just pile everything up around the front door, got it? You can pick up whatever you need and we'll throw out the rest for you. How kind of me. You have all of the night to get everything out of the way. The garbage truck is going to be taking out everything else that is there by tomorrow morning. You people are sick. I thought my brother was the worst, but you're just as bad. You never even bothered asking how he was or coming over to say hi. But as soon as he dies, you people do this? Do you really think that things are going to go your way? The same goes for you. Did you really think that you were going to become the next boss of your father's company after he died? Why on earth would he choose a high school graduate over a college graduate? Just use a bit of common sense and you could have figured it out on your own. Don't think you'll get to keep sucking your daddy's blood forever, you pest. A parasite like you needs to leave right now. Whatever. Good luck with getting away with that. You're the one who needs the luck, Patricia. Because my husband is going to be the next boss of your dad's company. And I'm going to be the wife of the boss. Which means that we're well off for the rest of our lives. Make sure to get everything off on the front porch. Because I'm sure you'll need everything you have to survive from now on. Hey, Patricia, is it true that you came over to the house while I was gone? Stop invading our property. That house belongs to me and my husband. I just went over to organize my father's things. Oh, okay. Did you find anything that was worth money? And don't think you can get away with hiding anything from us. We'll take any legal actions necessary if we find out what happens. Sadly, no. I didn't find anything that was worth money. I took the notebook with his favorite restaurants from all over the country though, if that's fine. Wow, I didn't know he had an actual hobby. I finished organizing a good portion of his belongings, so I'm sure the house is pretty empty now. I mean, it's pretty empty now. But are you sure that there is really nothing worth money in there? And once again, don't lie. I'm not going to lie. And my father didn't have anything expensive enough to be worth noting anyways. Really? But I thought all business owners have lots and lots of expensive things. You just reminded me. When is Stuart going to come to visit the company? He's joining us, right? The CEO is very busy. He doesn't have time to show up at work. Now, when is his salary going to be paid? For being the CEO. I have no idea what you're thinking is the case here, but I'm the boss of my dad's company now, so he's going to have an interview with me if he really wants to join. What? What do you mean you're the boss? We talked about how we're going to divide the inheritance already. The story about you two getting 2/3 of his inheritance? Yes. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but Dad named me as the next boss before he passed away. And I've already been head of the company for over 6 months now. You're lying. Why wouldn't you tell us about that? I mean, the only time that you'd ever bother talking to us was when you guys wanted money, and you two would either ignore us or not listen to what we were saying when we'd reach out to you. So no wonder you two didn't know. And also, the ownership of the house you're living in right now was changed to be under my name. So what happens to that house is completely up to me. What? Yeah, my father suddenly fell ill and got hospitalized, so we talked everything out in advance. Because we knew that Stuart is going to try and make things go their way, but I didn't expect you to leave in the middle of the funeral and throw my stuff out. Explain all of this right now. What do you mean, talked everything out? I became boss of the company as planned, before my dad even fell ill. We changed the owner of the house to my name after my dad got hospitalized. And he gave every single cent that he owned to me while he was still alive. Wait, so what does that leave us with? I mean, I think he has a few dollars in his bank account right now. You can have that. A few dollars? Yep. And also, if you two are planning to stay in that house, I'm going to have to ask you to pay rent. Judging by the rent of the other houses in that area, and of course with a discount since you guys are family, I'd say around $2,000 a month. What? What makes you think we could pay the amount every month? We aren't even working right now. You guys are unemployed? Of course we are. Stuart was supposed to take over the company. Speaking of, change places with Stuart right now. Get off your high horse, you high school graduate. I have graduated from college. What? Stop lying. I'm not lying. I was about to go on to getting a degree in college, but then my mother suddenly passed away right there and then. So I joined my dad's company to take her place. We didn't have many workers back then and business was slow, but I worked really hard and got the company back on track. So after the company was stable enough, I pursued a degree in college while staying over at my dad's house whenever we needed to have a meeting. You just stayed over? Weren't you living there like a leech? Have I never told you before? I have my own house and live there. Did you really think I had an oddly few amount of things when you threw my belongings onto the porch? Well, I thought it was a proper amount. I live in an apartment on the 40th floor. On the 40th floor? Yeah, my dad bought it for me. Right when our company was finally recovering from its downhill trail, he said it was time to make things even for everything he did for Stuart. So, he buys you a gorgeous apartment. Yeah, it's pretty close to my university too. Wait a minute, university? I thought you joined your dad's company as soon as you graduated from high school. That's right, and after I was able to stabilize my father's company, I redid my college admissions and graduated with a degree. I studied business at school, and I applied everything I learned directly to work. Ever since I started doing so, the sales kept going up, so I had a really good time at college. I think it was just around the time you guys were getting married. That's when I was getting graduated. How did we never notice? I'm pretty sure it was because you had absolutely no interest in me. Wait, so there's nothing left behind for the two of us? You can have the 2/3 of the few bucks that are still left in my dad's bank account. You're lying. How are we supposed to live off that kind of money? You two are the ones who quit your jobs, aren't you? Oh, and by the way, if you can't pay the rent, then I'm going to have to ask you two to leave the house. Please? I'm the one who has the rights to the house, so $2,000 by the end of the month. Capiche? How am I supposed to do that? Then, please make your way to the door and... I can't do that either. There's nowhere else for us to go. You own a business. You have your own house. Please just let us stay there until we get off our feet on the ground. And Stuart doesn't have to be the boss. He can be your assistant. Just please, hire him. I'm sorry, but I can't just do that. You told me that you're going to kick me out for being a high school graduate, right? That high school graduates aren't fit for being stable members of society? There's nothing to worry about that. Stuart's a college graduate. He'll get everything done properly for you. Stuart hasn't graduated from college. Wait, what? Yeah, he made our dad pay some expensive college fees and got into a private college. But he kept skipping class and got held back for a year. After that, he kept complaining about having to study alongside people who are a year younger than him. One day, he just quit going altogether. Wait, so that means... Yeah, he's a high school graduate. What? Sorry for having to be the one to tell you. I'm not childish like him, so I never brought it up. And it's not his education that keeps me from hiring him. It's his lack of care towards others and motivation to keep improving at what he does that keeps me from hiring him. Tell him that I wish him good luck in finding a new job. Well then, text me when you have my rent ready. Wait, Patricia, please, just help us this once. We're here cute siblings, right? Just give us one last chance. After that, I had to kick out the couple since they couldn't afford to pay the rent. On the other hand, I rented out the apartment that I was living alone in and moved back to the house that my father left behind for me. With the money he left behind for me, I reformed my house to be as clean as a newly built one. Regarding my love life, I ended up marrying a man who I had been working with for a few years, and a trusted assistant of my father. My brother and his wife kept bothering me about money, so I had to file a restraining order on them. I heard that they were currently living on Anne's parents' house, but they're being forced to pay 2/3 of their salary as rent.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey there, Sally. I heard from John that you were going to be having a wedding. Is that really true?
Hello, May. Yes, it's true. I am having a wedding. Harold and I have already been married for 5 years, but we never had a chance to have a wedding. And of course, it's something we've always wanted to do, but just have the chance to right now.
Hold on a second. You mean that you've been married this whole time but never had a wedding? And you're only just able to afford to have one now? Wow, I guess being poor must suck way more than I thought it did.
Sorry, what exactly do you mean?
I mean, it must not be easy when your husband makes as little money as Harold does. But even so, I can't believe it took you both 5 years to finally do this. You really are pathetic. Sorry, I meant you really have my pity. But in my case with John, we were able to have our wedding right away.
May, I think we've already talked about this, but Harold and I aren't really poor.
What are you talking about? I mean, you guys are so poor that even you have to work just to get by, right? Could you imagine not marrying a man who can provide for a family all by himself?
Well, I think that times have changed a little since then. And besides, the two of us actually like our jobs, so it works out. Not only that, but we've been married 5 years and never had any money troubles. If anything, the biggest problem we have as a couple is managing our schedules. We have different projects going at the same time, and we've hardly even had time to plan a wedding, let alone have one.
There you go again, coming up with the most lame excuses. You know that you can just be real with me and say that you don't have enough savings between the two of you. I mean, just because I'm richer than you doesn't mean we can't still be honest with each other. I am your sister-in-law, after all.
I understand that, but what I'm trying to honestly tell you is that we really aren't poor.
Oh, yes, totally. And I'm sure you both really just love your jobs, too. Meanwhile, I'm living the dream life of a housewife whose husband takes care of everything for her. All I worry about is being there for my husband and kid at home. In other words, I'm doing what a good wife in a good marriage should be doing.
I am really happy that you are content with where you are in life right now. But I don't think it's fair for you to claim that there's a right way to be a wife. And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to work either.
Well, anyways, congrats on finally getting your wedding, I guess. Good luck paying for it with your manager's salaries, though.
Hey, John, how's it going? I just had a quick question for you. Are you really going to let May continue on as a housewife? I thought you said that you get a pay cut and things were going to be a bit tight money-wise for you.
Hey, sis. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Things are pretty tough since May still isn't working at all. But I feel like it's not often you message me, especially about stuff like this.
Well, May actually reached out to me to talk about my upcoming wedding, but she didn't know that Harold and I hadn't actually had one. But anyways, she seemed to assume it was because we were too poor to afford to have one.
Are you kidding me?
Not at all. She seems to have the idea in her head that if both people are working, that the couple must be poor. And then she started to put me down for not being a stay-at-home like herself.
I can't believe that she would say something so rude to you. Oh, sis, you just should not pay attention to anything that comes out of her mouth. I don't know what her problem has been, but she has just been causing trouble for everyone around her. To be honest, I think she has some bad influences with her friends.
Bad influences? What do you mean by that? Actually, come to think about it, I really feel like you haven't been looking so good. Is everything okay at home?
I really appreciate you asking after me, Sally. But yeah, I'm okay. Or, I don't know, maybe I'm not really. I've just been so worried about all of this financial stuff, it's kind of been driving me crazy.
Are things really looking that bad for you?
I was already barely making enough money to support the two of us without May having to work. It was enough to make sure that we were never wanting, but we certainly weren't living in the lap of luxury or anything. But when we had our wedding, I basically went through all of my savings to pay for it all. Originally, we agreed that May would find a job once our kids started school and wasn't in the house as much. But May said it was always her dream to be a stay-at-home mom. And I think it's the other moms from the preschool who have been telling her that she doesn't have to find a job. I mean, our kid is already in school. May said she would be working by now, but things haven't changed.
Wow. I had no idea about any of that. That is so much, and I'm sorry you have to deal with it.
Again, though, I think it's because all the moms from the preschool don't work. So I think that May feels like she can't either if she wants to fit in with her new friends. She has it in her head that the only thing a wife should ever do is help her husband from the house. But if I don't make enough money for us, then that isn't going to be possible.
You mean that there really aren't any moms at your preschool who work? Wow. The other dads who send their kids there must really be loaded then.
That's the impression I've gotten anyways. So, while I'm able to focus on my work, getting a raise is a totally different story. I've talked to some of the moms at the preschool, and many of their husbands are managers who run businesses.
Wow, so they really have an easier time giving themselves raises when they need to then, I take it.
You nailed it right on the head, and I've tried explaining this to May, but she just refuses to listen to what I have to say. I told her that I really need her to work, but she just doesn't want to hear any of it.
Wow. I'm so sorry you're having to go through all of this, little bro.
It's really so much to deal with. She tells me that she works hard for the family at home, and that's her job.
And I think that there is nothing wrong with wanting to stay at home if your budget allows it. But you have to prioritize having all of the basics before you can just refuse to work.
I know that, but it just makes it so much worse that she uses being a housewife as a way to put you down. It's really embarrassing, to be honest. So anyways, again, I'm so sorry that she's treated you poorly.
Oh, John. You don't have anything to apologize for, at all. In fact, I would like you to come over to my house once you finish work today. Harold has recently gotten really into gardening, and we have way too many vegetables that we need to give away. We would love if you came over, picked out some of your favorite vegetables, and took them home with you.
Oh, wow, that would be amazing, thank you.
Also, we are, of course, going to invite you to our wedding. But I really would like to see you looking a bit better on that day. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself, okay?
Of course, sis, thank you so much for listening. It means so much to me.
Of course. Although, I think I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell May where you got the vegetables from. It might just make more problems for me in the future.
Oh, Sally, I just wanted to say how sorry I am. I know that your wedding is today and all, but I'm afraid that Harold and I won't be able to make it.
Wait, neither of you are going to be able to come to our wedding?
We really wanted to be there, but we both have to stay at home to be with our kids. So sorry about that. Besides, we didn't want any bad influences on our kid from all the other poor people who would be there today.
Hold on a second. Is that why you're not going to come today? You think the people I invite to my wedding are going to have a bad influence on your child?
Of course they would. You're having a poor wedding for poor people, aren't you? I can't have my kids saying that kind of thing. It would give the wrong idea of who it's okay to associate with. Maybe if you were to have a nicer wedding, things might have worked out differently. It's too bad you weren't successful enough to have a better one.
Hold on a second. Please tell me that you aren't serious about this.
This would have been my child's first wedding. But I know that as his mother, I had to protect him from this so that his first would be a much nicer one. There was no way he was ever going to be able to go to your wedding. Get it? Besides, you've had 5 years to plan this, and you still could only afford such a shoddy affair.
Okay, May. I have had just about enough of this. I do not know where you got the idea that my family was poor, but you are not going to belittle my wedding like this.
I'm not belittling anything. I could belittle your wedding anymore because it's already so tiny and sad. But anyways, as a mother, I have a duty to protect my kid of unsavory things like your wedding. Of course, you don't have any kids, so there is no way that you understand what I am saying. Maybe if you had some more money, you could have afforded to have a kid, though. Maybe you'll get some money as a wedding gift that can help you start a family the right way this time.
Excuse me?
But, even though no part of me wants to expose my child to this kind of thing, I could be convinced to change my mind. I got it. We'll agree to go to your wedding in exchange for giving you no wedding present. Our presents will be our present.
May, you were not even invited to my wedding in the first place.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that you are more than welcome to stay home all day today if you want. And while you're there watching your kid, your husband, my little brother, is going to be there for me at my wedding.
What are you talking about?
Oh, look! There's John right now. I think we just about have everyone who was invited. Okay then, thanks for watching the kid, and letting my little brother come.
Now, you hold on just 1 second. I had no idea John was going to be at your wedding. I even told him that he didn't need to show up if he didn't want to yesterday. And why am I the only one who isn't invited to your wedding?
Wow, I really didn't think you would be so upset over this. If I had known you felt so deeply about the issue, I might have actually invited you.
I don't care about your stupid little wedding. I just want to know what my husband thinks he's doing.
The thing that we also wanted to avoid having a bad influence on your kid. John told me all about how you guys are barely scraping by with the amount of money he makes, and with the meager kinds of meals you've been able to afford recently. John didn't want to expose your kid to the high-quality catering we're having. I guess he didn't want his only child to realize just how poor you both really are.
Hold on. What are you saying?
I just mean that this wedding has been 5 years in the making. All of our friends and family are here in this venue that we made sure was beautifully decorated. Not only that, but we went to some of the best caterers in the city to provide the food and drinks. We are talking about a pretty fancy affair overall.
You have got to be kidding me right now. I had no idea you were having such a nice wedding.
That much is obvious. But anyways, we don't want to crush your kid's perception of his parents, so maybe it would be better if you stayed with him all day so that he doesn't know about any of this. Although I know that it's going to be hard for you after all. You're constantly complaining to John about how little you have to eat, right? I just also wanted to spare you the taste of the high life before you had to go back to scrounging for scraps.
Is this supposed to be some kind of joke or something? You're not supposed to be looking down on me. I'm supposed to be looking down at you. Don't you pretend like you're richer than me.
But it's nothing of the sort. I really am just worried about you and your son and don't want to cause any drama at home. So that's why John agreed to come here by himself as a representative for all three of you. That way you could all save money by only sending one person.
But when you say that, it makes it sound like we're poor. We're not like you. We don't both have to work. My husband makes enough to allow me to stay at home full time.
Are you really sure about that? Because John paints a very different picture. Honestly, hun, you need to face the facts. We are poor. I could barely afford a wedding present for my own sister.
Wait, hun? We? Don't tell me this is John.
It is. And you really need to stop pretending like we are rich and that it's okay to look down on people. I know that you really want to be a stay-at-home mom, but I think it's time that we face the facts.
What facts? What do you mean by that? You make enough money for me to be a stay-at-home mom, right?
Do you realize that I only had $5 left in my bank account after I bought Sally's wedding present? How can you not be scared for us when that's the reality?
You only had $5 left?
That's right. You have no idea how hard it was to see that balance left in my account. I work really hard, and it always feels like we're still living right on the edge.
But I thought that there would be more money in there. There was at least $35 in there last time I checked.
Do you really think that that's all that much better? How can a family survive an emergency if that's all they have? I need you to start working, May. We can't keep going on like this. We need more money coming in.
No, I don't need to work yet. I'll just spend even less money. I promise. I'll try so hard to keep the house clean and take care of our son. Think of all that I do so that you can focus on your work. Besides, all the other moms at the preschool don't have to work. It isn't fair.
I am really grateful for all the work at home that you do, May. I really am. But the fact is that we can't survive like this and something has got to change.
You're really serious about this, aren't you?
I understand and really respect why women might want to stay in the home and take care of things there. The reality is, however, that we aren't in an economic situation where we can afford to do something like that. I mean, we have a kid now. We need to be able to save money for his future. We will be better parents by both working than not.
I don't know what to say. This can't be happening.
It is. And you and I are going to have a long talk when I get back home about how we as a couple are going to plan for the future. In fact, I'll be honest. I'm considering a divorce.
You want to get a divorce? You can't be serious.
I am literally starving myself just so that you can continue with this unsustainable dream of being a stay-at-home mom. I can't see how we're going to survive as a couple if this is going to be how things are.
Sally, are you there? I need a job right now. I have decided to work, but I really need a job.
Oh, May, well, congratulations on coming to that decision. I think it's great that you want to start working, but I am not sure you'll be able to find a job here.
Please, even an entry part-time position would be great for me. I can start as soon as I drop off my son at his preschool and go until I have to pick him up.
Well, that's good thinking. I think a part-time job would be great for someone in your position.
But the thing is that other part-time jobs pay so little. And no place is willing to pay me a lot because they don't think I have enough experience. Everywhere I look, I'm only offered minimum wage. So please, can you get me a job with your company? I heard from John that you actually make a lot of money, like $100,000 a year. Well, surely you must be really busy if you're doing a job that pays that much, right? Don't you need like a secretary or something?
Is that what you would like to work as?
Yes, and I need to be paid at least $30 an hour. Oh, and also, I don't know how to use a computer at all. So you'll also have to provide me with training, which should be paid for as well.
I'm really sorry, but I don't think we have an opening for a position like that right now.
Well, then what about Harold, your husband? He's an illustrator or something like that, right? I can probably draw okay. So how about you ask him to hire me as an assistant? Just make sure I'm getting paid at least $30 an hour, okay?
I'm sorry, but I wouldn't even hire you for $5 a house.
What is that supposed to mean?
I mean that I'm really glad you want to work, but you need to do a little more research about how job hunting works. There are plenty of part-time jobs that require no experience, and I would look into those first.
Wait, no, please. You really aren't going to hire me?
To be honest, you haven't really given me many good reasons as to why I should. Work on your skills and come back to me, and then maybe we can talk.
Please don't go. I've tried applying for these jobs, but they were also so stupid, so I gave up.
You gave up looking for other jobs?
Yeah, but I have to find something this week or else John is going to leave me. He's been so mad, and I really think he might do it. So I really need a job.
You mean that he's really going to go through with it? I thought he was just bluffing.
So did I. But when I got back home, I realized that he was serious about this. He really expects me to find a job. Working a job should be way easier than taking care of the house and raising a kid. Why can't John just make more money like the other husbands at the preschool? You know, I asked John something just like that, and that was when he seemed to get the most upset with me.
Yeah, it sounds like you're kind of ignoring everything he's been trying to impress upon you.
And now he's telling me that I have to find a job no matter what. He said it doesn't matter what it is, I just have to find something. And if I don't, then he is going to leave me.
Wow, I don't think I've seen my brother that upset with someone.
I tried to reason with him, but he wouldn't have any of it at all. So now I've been looking for jobs, but I can't find any. I told people that I don't want to do work where I'm standing all day and that I want to be paid more than they are offering, and they all turn me down.
Well, it sounds like you need to settle for something or else your marriage is going to be over.
That's why I'm coming to you, hoping to find a job that I wouldn't mind doing as much. Please, even $20 an hour would be great.
I won't lie, I hope that John does divorce you. He gave you clear conditions to prevent this, and you're making this way more difficult than they need to be.
So you're saying you don't care if my husband leaves me?
I think that him and your son would both be happier if he did. Anyways, I can't help you, and this is a problem between you and my brother. So leave me out of it. Good luck with the job hunt. After that, May began desperately searching and finally found a job at a gas station, narrowly managing to avoid being divorced by John. Now that she is working, however, it seems that May is starting to realize the value of a hard day's work. My brother, on the other hand, still hasn't let her off the hook. I hear they've stopped talking about divorce, but in the meantime, John has secretly found a new job that pays much better than his last one. He told me once that he's saving up to be able to divorce May smoothly. It hurts me to see my little brother going through something like this, but I know that he knows what is best for himself.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you